Hi everybody. Hi Monica. Welcome.
Hello. Hello.
So we are just talking about how we want to kind of open up these episodes, and we talked about the limiting beliefs, and Monica talked about how people can be burned out.
Mhm.
So we wanted to just to kind of point out people who become burnout. What is that their limiting belief that it becomes goes to that space of becoming, oh my god, I work too much, I give too much, I'm burned out. So would you
Mhm.
like to start the conversation? I put that as a loneliness, but I
Yeah.
think we can go get to that space right after when you explain it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I think that there are many limiting beliefs that contribute to people's burnout, right? And that can take us there. But absolutely, one of the common ones is this over coupling their sense of worthiness or importance or lovability with what they can produce or how they can show up and perform for others. So, sometimes the story can sound like, I'm more useful, I'm more lovable, I have more belonging if I can provide something for somebody. It could be money, it could be if I could provide this service, then I'll be more, important to them. And sometimes the story underneath that is, and then they'll love me, or and then they won't leave me.
Exactly.
So again, there's these layers to the stories that we can maybe identify, that if they remain in the subconscious, they can absolutely drive us straight to burnout.
Yes. And then the interesting part about this is that by doing that, you or me or whoever, we still feel lonely
Oh
because
yeah.
yeah, so it's that the loneliness part of it, I don't know how many percentage we can say, comes from that space of those limiting beliefs. And I was there, and I
Mhm.
totally understand. I can still go when I kind of put myself back in that space, feel those feelings of being alone,
Mhm.
doing everything and anything for others, to for them to love me and not to leave me because of my limiting belief that happened in childhood. I'd be happy to talk about that because it's
Yeah.
something that it seems that as I talk about it, it opens up more and more. And those onion piles that has been in my heart and in my stomach here, it just opens up. And I feel more comfortable sharing that because I'm not in that space anymore, because I can see and
Yeah.
feel that nowadays I would talk about what my needs are. I would really
Mhm.
lovingly, and I don't get to that space of anger or anything like that to be. Uh, and I am still self sufficient, but
Yes.
I those are the people who are like totally. I don't need anybody. I don't want anything. I was there.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it can be a wonderful way to protect ourselves, right? To insulate ourselves. If I don't need anyone, if nobody helps me, I do everything for me, then I don't have to be vulnerable and face rejection, or be vulnerable and face disappointment, hurt feelings, heartbreak, right? So it's a wonderful self-protection strategy. But as you mentioned, it comes with at the cost of loneliness and feeling alone. And really, what I try to work with my clients in seeing is that sometimes this fear of abandonment, or this loneliness that we can feel when we are in that story, is really because we leave ourselves first.
Exactly.
We are
Exactly.
not speaking to our needs. We're not asking for help.
Yeah.
We're not owning our desires for connection or vulnerability or intimacy in relationships. And so when we disconnect from ourselves in that way, that's really the most tragic of all abandonments.
Yes, exactly. I totally get that. I give this exercise to my clients just to kind of, I tell, I say, why don't we explore this? Put some alarms on your phone every
Yeah.
2 hours, every 5 hours, whatever. And then check in when that alarm goes off. Check in with yourself. Ask yourself, what do you need right now? It can be as simple as getting up, get a glass of water. Can be
Hmm.
as simple as like, I want to walk, around the block, or just make a phone call to my sister or something. I mean, that need when you actually ask yourself and you give yourself that need,
You meet that need. Yeah.
yes,
Uh-huh.
yes, and then it's easier to say what you want from others. And if I need to be in this relationship that has this and this and this, that makes me happy, it stays to my heart. But you have to give that needs that you have to yourself first.
Yes.
Nobody else can do it for you except you.
Yeah. And then what's great about that is once you start meeting those needs internally for yourself, is that, like you said, you can still maintain your self-sufficiency. You can still maintain your independence. But now it's not from this response of pain or trauma or self-protection. It's you can become more confident in your ability to meet your needs. And now anything else that anybody adds to it, any help, any love, anything that they bring to it, it's like sprinkles, right? It sprinkles on top of the sundae. It's
Yeah.
extra. It's
Yes,
not something that you need in order to survive,
yes,
or yeah,
yes,
I need this validation. We're holding on, right? No, it's like cool. Like now I can receive even more,
yes.
and you don't have to be doing it in this place of scarcity or fear or loneliness. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And it feels totally different when you have actually give yourself those needs, and then when other people will kind of come to you and want to give you the needs that you have. It's a double
Yes.
excitement. It's
Yeah.
double, happiness that comes to you, because you already have gave yourself that need, and this other person, family member or your partner or whoever, gives
Mhm.
that need to, because first of all, they see that you are giving those needs to yourself.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So they don't sense as much of that desperation, like, oh, it's on me to meet this person's need. They get to be off the hook in that sense, and now give more freely, as opposed to with the survival back and forth energy.
Mhm, mhm. Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
I work
good.
with my clients about relationship, and some of them come
Uh-huh.
and say, you know what, my ex or my partner told me, oh, I'm needy, but I'm this and that, and I'm self-sufficient. I do everything. I said, but it's not about that. So
Mhm.
let's explore. And when we go deep and they dive deep inside, and they
Yeah.
understand that it's that needy part, is that emotion that
Mhm.
you're expecting the other person to give you, except you have to give to yourselves, because you're not that 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 10-year-old anymore. I mean, I deal with
Yeah.
people in their 20 plus.
Yeah.
So it's, I have to like look at that younger self, look at this adult
Yes.
self, and then let's just communicate between the two and see where we are. And yeah,
Yeah.
that younger self needs this, and it's then as an adult self, you can give that to your younger self
Absolutely.
and have that
Absolutely.
relationship. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that so much. And I love your example of how you encourage your clients to start just becoming more aware of their needs, and prompting them to check in with their needs. I think that that's absolutely so important. Is we have to be able to hear ourselves. We have to be able to understand when we have a need. And if we have become so disconnected from ourselves that we're not even listening to our own needs or desires, it could be a hard thing to think about. Like, I'll have clients say, like, I don't know what I need. I don't know what I like. I don't know what I desire, because they have become so accustomed to looking outwards and performing for other folks, that they haven't really ever asked that question of, what do I need? What do I want? So having those simple prompts so that they can start going inwards is just a great strategy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the first or second session, I always ask them, you know what, this is a self-discovery session,
Yeah.
because 99% of people who come to me, they know what they don't want, but they don't know what they want.
Right.
So I say,
Right.
okay,
So
this
true.
is your journal. It's a
Yeah.
self-discovery. Let's just like sit down in a quiet place, write down what your needs are.
Mhm.
And I actually made a self-discovery journal, and I can put it
Oh, I love
on
that.
on here
Yeah. What
for
a great
people.
resource.
Yeah, they can just it's just asking yourself what my needs are in this situation, in this relationship, in this at work. I mean, it can be different in different areas of your
Absolutely.
life.
And even with different folks, right? With your more intimate relationships, you can certainly think of deeper needs or wants, but maybe with a colleague or a parent, your relational needs and um, what you desire there is going to be different.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So that's what the first step is, to be really be friend with yourself and your needs, and
Yeah.
get in that space before even have a relationship, a love relationship, to start anything, to know exactly what you want, because it can be some of the items in the other person can be a non-negotiable stuff.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
the deal breaker. So let's just see what your needs are before you go and become involved with that other person who, if you don't know what your needs are, then how can you have
How
that?
can you communicate them to your partner? How can you, yeah, express that or expect those expectations to be met when they're so vague to even you? Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. I love this episode. I love the way
So
that
fun.
it's 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 easy and it's not, because at the beginning it may not be, because you have to really uh, go deep and look at
Mhm.
those, maybe the anger, sadness, whatever emotions comes up from those past experiences, and
Sure.
be able to sit with it, talk about it, process it, and get to the next level of understanding that some of your behaviors has done. I mean, I had a client that, oh, I don't get invited, this and that, and I said,
Yeah.
let's look at that. At that I'm always alone. So I said, let's look at that. When
Mhm.
how many times have people has invited you and you said no?
Mhm.
So then it was like, oh my God. Then when she sat down and really honestly answered those questions, then she realized that, yeah, it was her behavior. That,
Mhm.
how many times can somebody invite you and you say no? So, of course, the 10th time, they're not going to invite you. So, who is
Yeah.
lonely here? Who is kind of actually opening that space up to be lonely? It's you.
Yeah. Yeah. So true, because we can feel lonely um, in a crowded room, right? And we could also feel really deeply connected and intimate when we're alone. So again, loneliness is sometimes a state. It's not
Of being.
necessarily a fact. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. So
Exactly.
let's see how are you guys being. So if you have any questions, and if you have any comments about our talk today, be happy to listen to it, look at it, answer it on the next one. So I'm excited to hear what you guys think about, and what do you think about our conversation today. Anything would you like to add, Monica?
No, I'm just really hoping we get this chat started and hear what folks have to say and get their reactions to these kinds of little talks and what they want more of. So I'm excited to do these.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.
See
Bye.
you next time.
Bye.